Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. This time I have the cute ghost tarot on the tarot table. That's always a cue that we're dealing with children, and in particular with Archie and Lilibet. I am looking at a rumor that came from one of Bookworm 2's sources that while King Charles is in Canada, intermediaries of his and Harry's would be meeting sort of on the sidelines to discuss the possibility of Archie going to school in the UK. Now, when I read about the possibility of Harry leaping out of the shrubbery and surprising Pa, I got the very strong notion that there were discussions, but they weren't directly between the king and Harry. They were through intermediaries. I don't think I used that precise word, but that was the kind of energy that was coming through. So I found this little bit of gossip, which is put out there just as a bit of unfounded, unsubstantiated gossip. I found it interesting because it resonated with me. I have looked at this idea of Archie going to school in the UK before. It has come up quite a few times over the years, and I have looked at it, and I have seen energy, positive energy around the story. There is, of course, also the story that Archie is already in the UK, but we're not going to look at that right now. I'm just going to be looking at this rumor of the alleged meeting, not the meeting itself. I'm going to be looking at this speculation around Archie and being sent to the UK to go to school. As far as I know, he's in kindergarten currently in California. Famously, first day of kindergarten was while Harry and Meghan were in Colombia, as I recall, and so they missed the first day of school. That was what people were saying anyway. I don't know if that's true or not. Very strange. I need to put the cards down to concentrate on this. Very strange, in my opinion, to be contemplating sending your 6-year-old child to a whole nother continent to go to school when your situation with your family in that country is particularly dire, and you've announced that you will never set foot in the country again, or not with your children, because it's not safe. But this story was discussing security arrangements and things like that for Archie. It's possible if Harry really thought he was going to win that security appeal, which apparently he did think he was going to win it, and this is something he really wants. There is, of course, the rumour that persists that a little cottage was made ready for him on one of the royal estates, possibly the Edinburgh's estate. The idea that Harry might divide his time between the UK and California. There are all these kinds of things. The prospect of sending a 6-year-old off around the world to school is mind-boggling to me, and no matter what the personality of the child in question, and we hear by all accounts that Archie is quite a nervous and anxious child, so I don't know. On the other hand, maybe it's better for the nervous and anxious child to be sent halfway around the world to school, if you get my drift. I have to go under the tarot table now to retrieve the card that's just gone flying off, so I'm going to see you on the other side of that. And in true tarot strangeness, the card that went flying off the tarot table, as I said, that was the World card. So I'm going to shuffle it back in, then we'll get to the meat of the reading and see what's going on. How much truth to this rumor, the impact of the loss of that security appeal on this possible plan, and then Harry's feelings about it. Does he want this? Would he himself move back to the UK if the right security arrangements were made for himself and Harry and Archie? How does herself feel about it? Her relationship with Archie, would she let him out of her sight? Bearing in mind that he might be quite an important bargaining chip. That's my opinion anyway. And then we're going to ask if this is likely at all, and if it were to happen, how would Archie do? in the UK. I think he might be a bit out of sync with his schooling in the UK. I'm not sure if that might be the case age-wise. I have no idea. Just a thought. And let's remind you that these are all just thoughts. This is just tarot, and it is for fun and entertainment. It is all my opinion and all my speculation. Just read energy here, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. We got the Two of Coins. Two of Coins, twos are about decisions, tossing things up, and deciding where you're going to put your emphasis, where you're going to put your resources, which option you're going to go for with the Two of Coins. Trying to balance, trying to juggle. It's a very much an energy of dividing your time between two countries. 6 months in the US, 6 months in the UK. Very much that kind of notion. If Harry wants his children to have any sense of his background, his place in the world, his status, his own culture and heritage and history, not that he seems to have much notion about his own history and heritage and all that stuff, this is the way to do it. Poor little Archie. I guess if Harry goes, not so bad. If he's the house husband while she's busy with her lifestyle bread, maybe you know, he's the parent that does the school runs and the lunch boxes and the caring, while the other one is dressing other little ones in beekeeping outfits and doing strange things like that. I don't know, but anyway, there it is. I'm trying not to be too negative and too judgmental in this reading. Just saying. Okay, Two of Coins, that gives me that energy of possibly, yeah, dividing your time between two different worlds, two different cultures. That's our underlying energy, the situation we're dealing with, this Archie story. We've got the Six of Coins in reverse, and this is the sharing card and the reciprocity card and finding balance and equanimity and fairness and all those lovely things. It's in reverse. That tells me there's an extreme of one sort or the other. I was, funnily enough, thinking of the Six of Coins as I was describing the energy of this Two of Coins, and it's shown up, but it's shown up in reverse. So there is too much of one thing and not enough of the other. Too much of California and not enough of whatever home counties or whatever. That needs to balance the situation out to give Archie, and we are assuming that there is an Archie for the sake of argument, to give Archie a more balanced view of his background and his place in the world. Okay, so we're kind of getting the same story twice with those two cards. So let's have a look at this rumor. It is just a rumor. How much energy is there that supports this notion that they might be discussing sending Archie to school in the UK? I have the Seven of Blades in reverse. It's one of those weird cards, the Seven of Blades or Swords, which is the ghosting, running away, coward, disappearing. Can be a bit of a shady energy as well. The Thief card, traditionally in tarot. I'm not suggesting anyone has literally been a thief in this situation, but we have the energy of being found out, caught out, having to confess. I wonder what about Archie might have to be confessed at some stage. I leave you to speculate in the comments below. But it's also the energy of having, after you've ghosted someone or just run away and just disappeared, you've got to come back and you've got to face the music. So I think there is some truth about this. I think Harry's beginning to realise that, and we know he's a bit slow. His own mother said that. And well, not quite those words, but the gist of that. He might have finally realised that it's not only his relationship with his family and his place in the royal world that he's messing up. It's also his children. His children's. So there's that. It might have dawned finally that he needs to figure that out. sooner rather than later. So impact of the loss of the security appeal, because, you know, he did seem to think he was going to win. It would have made this whole situation easier if the taxpayer and the British taxpayer was paying for Archie's security, and the has-been could go and live in that little cottage that had been prepared for them, and the nanny too, I guess, and there they are. So implications of that. Begging Pa, Knight of Cups. Have to ingratiate yourself with Pa quickly while Pa is still around. Because as Harry famously told us, he doesn't know how much longer his father has. I'm just quoting. I'm not judging. I'm just quoting. Knight of Cups. That is ingratiating energy. That is, if those intermediaries are really having a chat, that is having a chat in emotional terms, trying to connect emotionally, possibly trying to persuade, possibly you are grandpa, if you want to see your grandchild ever, you will have to do this, you will have to pay out of your own coffers. And I have seen quite a few times when I've read on this security situation that the king might intervene, not to force the British taxpayer to pay, but to pay himself while he's around and still can. I'm getting that kind of energy in there. Just saying, I know it makes some people's blood boil. I can't help what cards show up on the tarot table. That has shown up. Okay, so Harry, how much does he want Archie to go to school in the UK, or to have some connection with the UK? Oh yeah, there is the World card. The World card made very sure to show itself to us, and me in particular, as I had to crawl under the tarot table to fetch it. The World, success, absolutely desired outcome. It would be all goals met. This is literally travel, the world, of course, as well. And this is what this, yeah, I can't express enough how important it is to Harry to have Archie. It's interesting, Archie is the one being singled out in this rumour, educated in the UK, not our little beekeeper in Montecito. Interesting, that. Topic for another day, but yeah. Would he move himself? I mean, you can't send a 6-year-old off to school. Well, during the days of the Raj, yes, you could send them off to school on the ship at the age of 6, off to boarding school. You could do that, or possibly you would have a spinster aunt or something left behind in the UK that you could set to work. But now, I assume that if Archie is going to the UK, then Harry would have to go too. Let's have a look at that. Or the nanny. Oh, we've got a breakup card. The Lovers in reverse, the separation card. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's part of that. It's part of that conversation. In my opinion, it's part of that deal that might be being thrashed out behind the scenes. Radar Online has a booming headline that Prince William will let the has-been back only if he divorces herself. Just saying. Major arcana there. Big ones. Big ones. Okay. How about Madame in Montecito? Her relationship with Archie, the mother of a 6-year-old that we're discussing, or the rumour is talking about sending the 6-year-old off halfway around the world to school. Knight of Coins. Fine idea. No problem with it. That kind of energy is maybe quite a pragmatic thought about this. Knight of Coins is a future card. It's a slow but steady energy. It's slow progress. So this would be putting Archie on the right trajectory. Reminding everyone that he exists in the UK anyway, that he's entitled to be called Prince Archie, that he is in the line of succession. And yes, I know, I can hear you all complaining and throwing things at whatever screen you're watching this on. But it's there, it's clutching a pentacle. This is your legacy, this is your future, this is money, this is your security paid for, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. This is great. I'm asking about the relationship, but I've got the answer to the next question information kind of built into this Knight of Coins that it looks like she's thinking, that's a good deal for my little princeling. So how would you feel about actually letting him out of her sight and off to the UK? And we're going to assume, for the sake of this card, that he is actually in California and he's not actually already in the UK, in Windsor, which some people speculate he is. Queen of Sticks, that's her. Absolutely fine with it, I'm getting. That's her upright. So I can sort of see her in the old days, you know, on the quayside, waving her handkerchief as the ship sails off, and the ship would hoot, and, you know, off, and little Archie wailing, that was a Freudian slip if ever there was one, waving from the deck of the ship as mother disappears from view. A bit sort of Statue of Liberty-ish. I'm just being, you know, extra dramatic, but I'm being extra dramatic because we got the Queen of Sticks on the tarot table. That's the Queen of Wands, of course, and she is extra dramatic. It's her. We have her, and we have Harry and Archie in that card. We've got them showing up, all upright, all positive. Oh, this is a brilliant idea. I'm all for it. I'm surprised, I have to say. Again, trying not to be too judgmental for once, and let my own emotions get the better of me in this situation. So let's see, is it likely that Archie would go to school in the UK and not California? I've got the 7 of Sticks in reverse. It's a defeat card. It's being vulnerable. It's losing energy. 7 of Sticks upright is kind of defending yourself and feeling that life is quite difficult, but you're able to withstand whatever blows are coming your way. It's in reverse. It's very difficult energy for me to read because it's coming through as Archie's energy of just being very vulnerable wherever he is. It's not really giving me where he is in terms of going or not going. This kind of defeat energy probably tends to, it's not going to work out in the terms of the negotiations. If there are negotiations, if there is even a conversation around this between Harry and his people and the king and his people, it's tending more towards a no, but it's also giving me just a very vulnerable little boy who might be anxious, unhappy, wherever he is, whether he's in California or the UK. So let's ask the question. Sorry, I can't get clearer energy there about it. I'm getting very strong confirmation from the parents, but this card isn't strong confirmation for me, except in the sense that this is somebody who doesn't have their own agency. And as a 6-year-old, of course, he doesn't. And off you go, whether you like it or not. That could be. That could be. Which is very difficult energy to read. So let's ask if somehow he finds himself heading off to the UK, how would it go for him? Not for anyone else, just for him. Yeah, you see, this is the sad little face. A desperate energy. 6 of Blades is overseas travel. This is somebody who sent off. In this card, it's interesting, he's all by himself. Whereas the 6 of Swords, Blades, whatever, normally there is a group in the boat. There's at least normally a mother and a child or children and a man who's very often kind of rowing the boat, pushing off, going into calmer waters, transitioning, going somewhere. We've got a 6 there, that's him in terms of age. I know it's swords, not pentacles, but we've got the 6 of coins over there already. So we've got 2 6s. His age, when this would be happening, if it were to happen. And we've got overseas travel, and we have overseas travel, and we have somebody who's leaving something difficult behind, which is interesting. So it's telling me that the situation that he's leaving in California is more difficult than the situation he would be going to in the UK, for what it's worth. A disturbing little reading, very disturbing. We'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. It is, of course, just opinion and speculation, and thank you for watching, as I've already said, and I'll see you again tomorrow.